question. If you look to the Quran and you look to the teachings of Muhammad, and you find that overall they support the belief in a single God, and that's the main message being offered over and over and over, that there is a God, giving you proof after proof after proof, there is a God, there is a God, there is a God, and He's one, He's one, He's one. You need to worship Him because He's going to ask you what you did with this life He gave you. There's going to be a judgment day. Is that bizarre? Is it? Or doesn't that sound like if there is a God, that's probably something like what He said? Huh? Is that the message? So where does all this other stuff come involved? Well, actually it's from two sides. There's two sides to every coin, right? And there's certainly two sides to a problem. The problem that we're looking at today is actually human beings. Islam actually is a very perfect and beautiful verb. The understanding and concept is very simple to understand. But Muslims, those who try to do it, aren't necessarily perfect, are they? Are they? No. So that's where the problem is going to come in. When Muslims don't follow Islam, then you're going to see deviation. You'll see things start to happen that are not correct. Likewise, when the other people claiming to follow their religion don't follow it correctly, you'll see the same kind of problem. Is that true? Okay. So you got two bad boys over here in the room and getting after it, but you're not going to blame their particular constitution or their country's beliefs or their religious beliefs on what they're doing, are you? Are you? Because you can't find anything, any substance for the argument. Now, here's something I want you to think about, and think about really hard. When someone will go to the trouble to purposely misquote. Now, I was ignorant, okay? That's bad enough to be ignorant. But when a person's knowledgeable, but they use their knowledge to corrupt and intentionally misrepresent something else, with the concept that the end justifies the means, is this good or bad? Good or bad? Wow. Mr. Nixon found that out, didn't he? The end doesn't justify the means in this country, does it? You got to tell the truth regardless. And by the way, that's what the Quran says, the same thing. You have to speak the truth, even if it's against yourself. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, taught his followers that if you lie, you're not a believer. You're not going to paradise. Liars go to hell just like those who steal. It's a very serious offense in Islam is to lie. This is not lightweight. Okay. Have you not seen or heard something from the Quran sounds like terrorism? It says, and kill them wherever you find them. Look at this, man. What a book of terrorism. How many of you heard about that? Not very many? Well, it's out there. Sooner or later you're going to get it in an email or see it on the internet or in an article. Some journalist is going to try to twist the story and going to say, see right there in the Quran. Right there. It says it. It's in Surah Baqarah, chapter 2, verse 190, 191. Actually, it says, and kill them wherever you find them. ... The word and means what? That's a conjunction. It means there's something that you just missed. You didn't get the and. What that? And what? Where did this come from? And then why is the ... Why don't you go on and say the rest of it? Because what it says in the verse before it in 190 is very clear. It's talking about people who are terrorizing you, killing you, destroying property, driving you out of your land. Then the order comes, you must stand up to them and do the same back to them. And, see what it says? And kill them and turn them out, just like they're doing to you. Read the verses in context. If you don't have a Quran, there's two ways you can get one. The Muslim Student Association here at Blacksburg have Qurans. Check it out. You guys got some Qurans, right or wrong? Huh? I want to be sure you had some. Otherwise, go to our internet website And you can get a free download, put it right on your computer. Anytime you want to refer to it, it's in English, it's in Arabic, and transliteration, so you can try to pronounce the words with English letters. You can see for yourself. You want to know the truth? Find out the truth and see. It says in the Quran about women, about your wives, and beat them. But again, notice the and is coming up here. Did you notice that? And beat them and ... Why? Because you don't want to read what's right before that. Because this particular ayah or verse of Quran is very beautiful, because it starts out saying that the men, now again, that translation says, men are better than women. That's how it starts. And beat them is how it ends. Anybody got the Quran with you today? Anybody at all brought one with you? It's so beautiful when you read it. What it says is that the men are over the women in regard to maintenance and protection. Meaning the men have a higher degree of responsibility, meaning the men have to pay all the bills. The men in Islam are responsible for every single bill in the household. That means the rent or payment of the house is on the man 100%. Electricity, gas, water, insurance, whatever there is an expense with that house is the responsibility of who? The man. And protection of the women, the man. Because 1400 years ago there was a little bit of confusion about this amongst folks. They thought that there was something where they could take things away from a woman when they married her. Some thought they could take it all, others just took part of it. Kind of like community property state. But a woman doesn't have to worry about protecting herself from that kind of thing. If she inherits, she keeps it all. If she has wealth, it's all hers. If she makes any money, it's all hers. What percentage does a woman have to contribute to household expenses? Nil. Nada. Zap. Zip. Doodah. Nothing. How about that? How about that? In other words, ladies, you can say it. What's mine is mine, and some of yours is mine too. And she doesn't ever have to work. Well, I think women ought to be liberated. Isn't that liberation? Hello? Well, I don't know. Is it equal in Islam? Are women equal to men in Islam? We want women to be equal. Let me promise you something. Islam absolutely does not believe that women and men are equal. Absolutely not. How many of you think that's bad? Raise your hand. Yes, sir. Go ahead, put it on up there and watch what happens next. Do you really think men are equal to women? Honest to God. Okay, are you a math student? You are? No? Because there's the equals mark. Equals means what? Exactly what's on this side is on the other side. Yes or no? Yes or no? So if you have an equation that says 1 plus 1, the other side has to say 2. Or else you're making a mistake. Am I right or wrong? Help me out here, guys. You guys are going to college. I'm just the old guy here. All right. You're going to like the answer. Don't panic, okay? Don't panic. I'm going to show you something. I want to first show you why it's important, and then I'm going to show you something better, inshallah, God willing. A man and a woman are not equal, very simply said, one statement, and then tell me how it's equal. Can a man give birth to a baby, yes or no? Okay, end of story. Because, no, I'm serious. Ladies, some of you never gave birth yet, okay? But after you do, you're going to look at that guy, you're going to say, there's no way he understands what this is all about. I remember asking my wife after she gave birth to my daughter, I was asking her, because she went through so much pain, she grabbed my thumb, right, and almost broke it. And I was trying to get out of it. Breathe, breathe, let my hand go, breathe. You know, that Lamar's thing, you remember, right? Anyhow, I asked her, I said, what the heck was going on, man? You almost broke my thumb. She said, I don't remember a thing. I said, well, give me some idea. This pain must be horrible. She said, there's no way a woman can explain to a man what the pain is. I said, no way. She said, look, take your bottom lip, okay? Get a hold of it. Now pull it up over your head. And that won't not even begin to talk about the kind of pain that a woman goes through in childbirth. Islam immediately recognizes this. Immediately. It talks to you in the Quran about the woman who delivers you in this kind of pain and condition, and is given high respect and honor to her. Doesn't the Bible do the same thing? High respect and honor to the woman who's delivering this baby, because it hurts. This is not something easy. And in some cases, women die from it. Is that true or false? Now, men today are playing this game, all right? Like, I want to really get into this and understand how you're going. I'll be with the classes with you, and I'm right there with you, and I'm experiencing this too. Yeah, right. Some women can never ever get their back in shape again after they give birth. They always have the back pain for the rest of their life. You know that? I don't see this guy having that problem after that. So it's not the same. Now, if you mean by what you said, should they be treated fair? Absolutely. Absolutely. It's so fair. Watch this. A woman has a time of the month, right? Or no? Does a man? A man has his all the time. I'm saying that during this cycle that the lady has, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala excuses her from the salat. She doesn't have to pray. She does not have to pray. She doesn't have to make it up. And those days, she does not have to stand and bow and go through all of this. Allah knows He created her. He understands. Don't worry about it. She doesn't have to pray. And if it's fasting time, she doesn't fast, but she records those days and makes them up later on in the year. The same thing in the Hajj. There are considerations and concessions for the lady, and takes her needs and wants and desires into consideration. They're not equal, so you don't expect from them that. We just did Hajj recently, this past Hajj time, and I remember while we were there, we were talking about that, and the ladies were saying, I love this because look how Islam is taking care of me. When I have a condition, Islam is right there taking care of my condition. So a man doesn't have that, so what do you want them? How can you say this is equal? It's not equal, but it's fair. It's not equal to say that the man has to go out there and work and make the money to take care of the house and protect the lady. It's not equal, but it's fair. Which one's bigger? Which one's strong? Which one has more ability to protect the other one? And let's don't go into the few sumo wrestlers that we got out here. You know, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about ordinarily the woman and ordinarily the man. Which of the two is more likely to protect the other one? It makes sense. And which one should support the other one? A woman has a baby. That's not easy. She needs time to recoup. She's got a baby now. How is she going to feed this baby and drive a truck? But what we've done, we've tried to go so far beyond what's rational and tried to use this term equal instead of fair that we forgot what God's plan was for us to start with. Why do you think God made it so ladies could have babies? Who is more compassionate toward a child, a man or a woman? And be honest. And I don't want to hear about Mr. Mom, okay? Who's the most compassionate to that child? Whenever it's in the middle of the night. Anybody have a new baby in their house? Raise your hand. Yeah, I know you do. Congratulations, Abu Omar. Mabruk. But who's the one gets up when that baby cries in the night? Who? You? Do you go in there and feed him? No. You're like this, right? Oh, get up. Am I right? Yeah. How many men would just put their fingers in their ears and sleep till the morning and the kid will be all right? Seriously, who has the compassion for the child? The mother. Who is the one who really will work with that child to teach him how to speak? The mother. Who is the one who's going to set this child's personality in place? The mother. Who's going to come along and corrupt it? The father. I'm just kidding now. Many fathers, I'm one of them, I'm a very compassionate father for a guy. But we have limits. I love my kids so much, I really do. But I got limits. And my wife, she's so patient. My 28-year-old son, by the way, just now getting out of the hospital from double pneumonia. He nearly died. They had to run that tube down, what's it called, that breathing tube. What do they call it? No, the tube itself that they... Ventilator. It's not med school, is it? The ventilator. And he nearly died. And they were really concerned the first couple of days. Is he going to make it? 28 years old. I said, my God, he's so big and healthy. I can't believe this is happening. But as soon as he's out, it's back to like, let's be cool again, you know? So fast. And I'm thinking, I can't be patient with this guy. But the mother, so patient, so compassionate. And by the way, stepmothers are the same way. They can be very compassionate too. And it's not even their kid. Ladies, I want you to think about it. Could you take in somebody else's baby and raise it and care for it and love it? You could, couldn't you? You could. A little teeny tiny little baby couple. But guys, you see a baby, you're going to go, man, give it, call the orphanage. So men are not like women. So don't try to make them to be something they're not. But be fair. And Islam is treating them fair. Women have rights in Islam, big rights. One of the first and initial rights that a woman had when Islam came was the right to retain her identity. She did not become chattel property. She was not something to be bought, sold, traded, or mortgaged. And that's the status of women in the 7th century. And if you doubt that the church had the same opinion, it was in the 7th century exactly when the church, Catholic Church, held their council to decide whether or not a woman even had a soul. Hello. But Islam came and said, look, these are ladies like yourselves, they have rights, you have to honor them, you have to respect them. But they're different than you are. A woman is not like a man, and you have to give them respect. And even the expression that the Prophet used, peace be upon him, was to describe Eve and how she was made from the curved bone of Adam, not the same as Adam, because she's different, but still what? Not from the foot bone, by the way, to be under him, or the head bone to be over him, but right here from the side to be with him. Make sense? Look how Islam is explaining this subject, that she is curved, meaning she's not the same as you are, but it says don't straighten her. Leave her to be in her way. A man is in his way, and a woman is in her way. They're not the same. Don't try to make that an equals, but do make it fair. How many, and I want you to think about it, how many women do you know got married and changed their last name to their husband's name? How many men got married and changed their name to their wife's last name? Huh? And we're going to exclude all of California, by the way. I'm not even going to bring that up. Because Islam forbid that 1400 years ago. The woman keeps her name, she keeps her identity, and she has a legal contract for marriage that clearly spells out what the deal is going to be. And a man has to live up to it. And a woman has the right to divorce. It's not liked in Islam, but there's a whole chapter about divorce in the Quran explaining the rights of both parties. The man and the woman having the right to divorce. But it has so many chances for reconciliation and to be fair. And it's constantly reminding to be fair in a divorce. How many of you ever heard about somebody in a divorce? Was it fair? No. In Islam it has to be fair. You want to talk about fair? Study Islamic law with regard to divorce and property settlement, and you'll say, oh my God, why don't we have that here? I'm going to wrap it up on that. I wanted to share just one aspect, one facet of the beautiful diamond of Islam, and that's to talk about the role of the women. And by the way, I mentioned to you earlier in the program, Islam is the fastest growing religion. But I didn't tell you who are the people coming into it the most. For every man that entered Islam, anywhere from 4 to 10 women entered Islam. Depending on which country you're in. From 4 to 10 times as many women enter Islam as men. If Islam is so repressive, it's so hard on the women, how come they're the number one going in? 4 to 10 more than the men. Last little piece of it, not advice, but information for you. I saw in an email today, one who came to Islam in Arizona at the age of 52 years old. No, that's not amazing. I'm 60, that's no big deal. But this person was in law enforcement, police officer, and came to know about Islam by sponsoring some Saudi students who lived in their home, and they watched these young police officers from Saudi Arabia, helped them to learn the English language, and learned about this religion called Islam. So much so that this individual decided, I want to be a Muslim. This is the religion I've been looking for all my life. You know what happened? Said after I became Muslim, I had a problem with the dress code. Police dress code. You know why? They wouldn't let her wear the hijab while she was on duty. But after she finished her tour of duty, then she started wearing this hijab. It's a beautiful story, and there's a whole lot more of them out there. Take time to find out more about the real Islam and about the people who follow it. I think you'll be impressed. I know a lot of you have heard a lot about Islam this week. You've been attending the program. I hope you'll come and see the tent tomorrow. If you get any questions, I hope you'll email them to me. We're out of time right now, and I have an appointment I have to go to immediately. So I'm going to ask you to write this email address down and send these emails to me. Ask Islam, ASKISLAM, at AOL.com. Address your questions there, and try to briefly mention your question in the subject line, and then I'll do my best to give you an answer within a week to 2 weeks, because it does take us a long time. I travel all the time, and I will do my best to give you the answers with the references from Islam. We don't go on our opinions or gut feelings. We have to have an answer from reference, or we have to say, I don't know. And of course I do have to say I don't know a lot, but in any case, I wanted to wrap it up with just a little something from the Quran. And Allah told us in the Quran, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إذ جاء نصر الله والفتح ورأيت الناس يدخلون في دين الله أفواجا فسبح بحمد ربك واستغفره إنه كان توابا. It says, when you see the help of Allah come in the victory, and you see the people entering into the deen or the religion of Allah in big numbers, then hymn the praises of your Lord and turn to Him, ever turning to Him in repentance. For all of you who believe there's only one God and that you need to worship Him alone, you're a lot closer to Islam than you thought you were. For those of you who think that Muhammad was a prophet and that all the other prophets were that, messengers of God, and you're willing to do something about it, then you're already on the first level of Islam. If you want to know more and do more, you're most welcome. But it's very simple. When you're ready to go to Islam, it's very simple to open the door. All you have to do is say, I bear witness there is no God to worship except God alone. And I bear witness to the messengership of all the prophets from Adam to Muhammad. Simply, it's even easier in Arabic. The Muslims have helped me with this one. Ashhadu. No, what I meant by that was you're going to say it. You got me, guys? Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu Muhammad Rasulullah. That's all it takes. With that statement, the person becomes literally born again. That's where the expression comes from, because at that stage Allah will forgive everything, give you a new chance to start all over again. So come visit with the Muslims tomorrow. They'll explain more about that at the tent. Till next time, this is Yusuf Estes, National Muslim Chaplain, reminding you to visit our internet website, islamnoir.com. Our website's open 24 hours a day and plenty of free parking. Till the next time, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.